Welcome to Woodstock Arts in downtown Woodstock. Let's go inside and check it out. So inside here, this is the main box office. When they have shows inside, they're going to take your tickets here if you have them on will call and be checking them in the main auditorium over here. Over the years, I've been involved in several projects that kind of redo this space. It's been painted and floored by the city and a lot of updates over time. Okay, so every year in downtown Woodstock, we have what's known as the Scarecrow Invasion. This is where a lot of the local businesses pay money in a donation to be able to make their own scarecrow design of some kind that kind of promotes their business or just something that they personally like. Let's take a look. Okay, so right behind you is a building that used to be called the Hot Dog Heaven. It was a local restaurant that was Chicago-style hot dogs and beef, something that's very near and dear to me. I grew up in Chicago. That eventually sold and has been converted into what is now known as Rootstock and Vine. They tore down one of the buildings and they built this whole thing out. What you're going to have here is basically wines, charcuterie boards, and some entrees, tapas, and other things to eat. And on weekends, they'll have live music, and they're upstairs on the rooftop. Check it out. All right, so this year we actually got ourselves involved in the Scarecrow Invasion, and we have behind us, I would call this my wife's creation, even though it has my name tag on it. I had very little to do with it. But Jack from Nightmare Before Christmas is going to be our scarecrow for this year's Scarecrow Invasion. Take a look around and see what all the other local businesses are doing and why this is one of the greatest towns you can live in. One of the greatest things that I've always said about downtown Woodstock was its music venues. We have outdoor and indoor venues, many of them, some of the ones that I love most. One of them is going to be this amphitheater. This is where they do the summer concert series. We really hope to have our band actually open on that stage. We've seen estimations of around 7,000 to 12,000 people descend depending on what band is playing in the summer concert series. And this entire area will be lined with chairs. People bring out their chairs to claim their spot for the local downtown music scene. If you love live music, this is definitely a place you're going to want to be. So down here, what you're going to find is the Woodstock Bastille. Now, this is obviously a hair salon, but if you take a look, it's the original site of the Woodstock Jail, circa 1914. This sleepy small town turned into a bustling metropolis full of people. Now, granted, it's not as big as some of the big cities, but the amount of people that traffic through here in a day, this can be a traffic jam. So the story behind Reformation Brewery is actually kind of a cool one. So there were some pilots and some of their friends that were, well, microbrewers. I believe some of them lived in Lake Arrowhead here in Cherokee County, and they would make batches of beer. Well, the pilots would travel overseas and have really good beer, especially in places like Belgium. And when they would come back, they were like, there are no good beers here. And so out of that was born an idea to go ahead and create a Belgian-style beer, and they called it Reformation Brewery because they wanted to reform beer culture. And what was born out of it was a very small brewery that has grown to multiple locations and has an unbelievable selection of craft beers of all different kinds. What started it off was my favorite, which is known as the Cadence beer, made with cane sugar. And one of the things that they did that was different is they took the water source here in Cherokee County, which is a very inert. They mimicked the water of Antwerp, Belgium, which is the foundation of a Belgian beer. And by doing so, they were able to recreate an authentic experience. So one of my all-time favorite locations in all of Woodstock is going to be Mad Life. The reason is it's not only a great restaurant, which my wife and I come to all the time to eat, this also is a music venue. They have an outside stage in which they bring singer-songwriters and small bands, but they also have a full production inside stage where they bring tribute bands and cover bands and sometimes even original artists like David Cook. This place is literally unbelievable. Check out the bill, see what's coming. So welcome to the Woodstock Arts Event Green. They went ahead and built this awesome big stage here, and this is where they have their Lantern concert series. This is open to the public, as you'll see people tend to come out here and play soccer and do things out in the field area during non-shows when shows aren't actually running. But this is actually open to the public where you can actually rent this space and hold your own concert series, which we're actually going to do. In 2024, we'll actually put together a small music festival here in this area where you can see it from over by Reformation or anywhere in the downtown area. But the stage here is very special. This is also, we're going to take you over to show you the Reeves house, which is an original house that they actually had to tear down because it just was not a safe house in terms of construction. It had suffered a lot of termite damage and other damage that they were trying to restore. I actually performed for Woodstock Arts when it was called Elm Street, back when they had the original building inside that building. What we're going to show you today is what they built, which is kind of the art center focus for the downtown Woodstock area and a killer coffee shop. Come on. Hello, hello. This is one of my favorite coffee places. Now, do you still have, what did you call it, the after school special? Is it PB&J?
Yeah, we do.
Yes, I absolutely love that, and I would love to get one.
Yeah, what size would you like it? 12 or 16?
I would like a 16. Would you like anything?
I'm good. Appreciate it, though. No problem. I'll get out to you in just a bit.
Thank you. So what we have here is some local artists that bring in their art, as well as traveling artists that they bring stuff in to showcase. And they have art classes over there in the educational studios that are behind us. So we're gonna grab our cup of coffee and we'll do a walk around and show you what the Reeves Center looks like.